Does that mean I have to change the password? Maybe someone has hacked it.
Just checking up to see if we're ready for
Can I change
Facebook Live now. We're just checking to see if we're ready. We should be live in another 20 minutes, and I'm hoping that people out there can join in this conversation this night on how to become a rock star presenter. I'm looking forward to engaging with you. If you have questions, you can come up with your questions. Some issues that you like us to deal with, probably business cases that we can look at dealing with. That will also help us tonight. I'm hoping that we will have a great time tonight as I share with you from my experience as a presentation skills coach, trainer, internationally certified, and I hope that my classroom experiences working with different business leaders, professionals, and all of that can be a much help to you tonight. So please, if anyone is online, prepare, send the link to your friends that you know that this Facebook Live will really help their career. I'm looking forward to your cooperation, to your help, to help broadcast this, and let's make it a success. And also I'm hoping that someone will be able to at some point. I want to say thank you so much. I can see my Reverend is here online with me. Good evening, Reverend Adelo. It's so good to know that you're watching. Thank you. Ayotunde OC. I was just trying to see how it's going to play out before coming up tonight. And so I would just like to share with us a couple of things on my experience in the training room over the last 15 to 16 years. And also my experience as a presentation skills coach and trainer. And so if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, if you're a facilitator, this live event is really going to come very okay for you. I'd like to share with you some of the secrets, some of the stuff that I've learned in the process of making presentations and seeing how effective presentations can be. Okay, I'm sending an invite out to you. Thanks for watching, and this is something that I look forward to doing. Attention that this live event tonight will be recorded, so that those of you who are not able to live, you can also watch a replay, and I'll also be uploading it on my YouTube page, so that at some point you can find time to go there and watch this class. But in any case, I appreciate you for joining in. Just give me a couple of minutes. In another 10-15 minutes, the show will start, because a lot of other people are expecting that it will start at 8 p.m. And tonight, just something to kind of whet your appetite. I'm going to be structuring my presentation tonight into two different parts. And the second part is going to be coming up next week. You don't want to miss that. Tonight, I'm going to be looking at some of the things you need to put in place, okay, as you prepare your presentation to become a real rock star presenter. Some of the things you need to do before the presentation, some of the things you need to put in place, how you need to get your presentation online working. I'm glad. Thank you for joining me. I can see Joanne Blessing Obadan. Thank you, my sister. It's been a while. It's good to connect with you on this platform. And hey, my brother is here, Benga Abe, all the way from Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. Thank you so much, Benga Abe. How is Abu Dhabi? How is the sun there and all the weather? I miss you guys. Hopefully sometime soon I'll be with you again, and we can have a great time together again. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate. My chairman has just joined, the chairman of Stockwatch. Thank you so much, Abayomi Obabolujo. I appreciate you being live with me tonight. I appreciate you for for being on the call with me this night. Thank you for being on the call with me this night. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I was saying that I've kind of grouped what I will be sharing into two: what you need to put in place before the event, before your presentation. There's some things you need to get in place. There's some things you need to do for your presentation to be seen as, you know, a super performance. Because let me let you know in the interim that presentation is both an art and act. Okay, so there are elements of acting when you present, to be able to engage your audience, to be able to carry your audience along. So it plays, you know, a critical role as you learn all of these things. So we'll be talking about how, you know, prepare for the presentation before your presentation. So I want to welcome you again. It just looks like we have a couple of minutes. I'm feeling so like we should just go ahead, but then it's okay to just keep you engaged while we're expecting the time to tick. But again, there's something about presentation. Life itself is a continuum of presentation. Life itself is a continuum of presentation. What do I mean? Whether you are aware of it or not, you're making presentation. Whether you're conscious of it or not, you're always making a presentation. That means without necessarily standing up in the presence of an audience, an organized setting, you're making a presentation. Your body language is sending out some kind of messages. Things are happening around you. People are taking cognizance of you, your body language, the vibes that you're sending out to people. Now, when I hear people say, oh, people are not cooperating with me, I'm not getting help from somebody, oh, this is not happening. Let me let you know something, that whatever the response that people give to you is as a function of the vibes that you're projecting. So if you want to change or alter the response of people, the feedback that you get from people, you might need to alter the vibes that you're projecting. What you're projecting is critical to what or how people will see you, how they will envisage you. So it's important that you know that life, it's all about presentation. And so that's what we'll be talking about tonight. And please, I wanted to get your questions ready. You know, you've had presentation issues in the past, and you're wondering, oh, okay, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. This is the result that I got is not exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, so, and you find out that at some point you just want to do something that people will applaud you for. I want to welcome Bambo. Bambo Akombi is online. Thank you, Bambo, for joining. And my brother is online also joining. Thank you. Pastor Sam Ekoja, I appreciate you. Thank you. And hey, my sister also is online with me tonight. I have Pastor Judith Imabeking. Thank you so much for joining. You guys are great. I appreciate, you know, you joining. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Thanks for being on the call with me. So in case you're having our presentations and the feedback and the response you're getting from people is not what, you know, you're looking at getting from them, then you can say, oh, like, how do I alter the way people respond to me when I make a presentation? Really, it's not about your audience. If your presentation don't go well, it's not the fault of your audience. That's what I'm saying. If it doesn't go the way you want it to go, I can tell you from my experience that most of the time, if not all of the time, it's completely your fault. Okay, because the audience are there for you to engage. The audience are there because they feel that you have something that you want to offer them. You have something you want to do to help them do, you know, become better. And when you have such opportunity, you don't want to bungle your opportunity. You don't want to lose your opportunity, because people are there, they're watching, they want to result. They came to you. People want help. That's why they came to you. People are seeking something. There's an information you have, and people are expecting that you're going to give them this information. Okay, so don't waste that chance. Don't waste that opportunity. Don't lose it. It's the opportunity of your life that you want to use to sell yourself. Because every presentation, for some of you that are watching, it might just be that it's an interview. You want to attend an interview. And your interview is your opportunity to sell yourself to the interviewers. And they've just asked you, can I meet you? That no better opportunity can be given to you if you're an interviewee and your interviewer is saying, can we meet you? That's your golden chance. That's the chance you want to use to sell yourself. That's the chance you want to use to give your strong points to people, okay? You want to be able to tell them, this is who I am, this is how it's going, this is what's happening with me, and this is what I've been, these are my results, because results don't lie, okay? These are the data. While I was here, these were the results that I achieved. Because again, people just want to see the results that you're achieving. That's what. And you're making a presentation. Whether it's seated, whether it's standing, whether it's virtual, just like we're having right now, people just want to be there. They want to listen to you. And it's your chance, it's your opportunity to get your people ready for you. Thank you so much, Abdrashid Shitu. It's been a while. It's so good to see that you're joining this. Thank you so much for joining on the call, Abdrashid Shitu. It's been a while. How is Port Harcourt City? I hope the weather there is a good weather. Thank you so much for joining me on the call. Right now, we're just going to be kicking off, just going into my content because I really, I prepared a content to share with you. And in just the next 2-3 minutes, I'm going to delve into the content fully. I want to welcome everyone that has joined. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. And it's my first time. I'm just, trying to learn to use this this tool, and it's a wonderful tool that Facebook has really has put up here for us. And I hope that I can be able to share my knowledge, my expertise with the world, and it can be of benefit to somebody. Tomorrow is another wonderful working day here in Nigeria, in Africa, where I'm broadcasting from. And so you'll find out that a lot of people are going to be in meeting on Monday morning, and you probably just want to watch this live event to help your presentation tomorrow, because you're going to be in live meetings in your presentation. You're expected to probably, turn in a report. You're expected to come and just give a pitch, to your management or to the board. So I'll just share a couple of things, with you tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm just waiting. I'm counting down right now. I have about 4 minutes, and then I will just delve into the topic. So what I wanted to do for me, please, I want to ask you to please share the link, okay? To share the link with your connections, with your friends, with, people that you are connected to on Facebook, so that they can join. There's some people who don't know that this live event is happening. And so please, I'd like you to please just share the link with them, those that you know that would benefit from this live event tonight. I'd like you to please share the link with them. And then also, I wanted to prepare your questions for me, some areas of challenge that you want me to probably say something about, and then I'll be so glad to share my expertise with you on that area that you want us to look at. So please get ready your question as I kick off the event right now. Okay, everyone, welcome officially. Welcome officially to this event. I've titled it "How to Become a Rock Star Presenter." How you can, just make your presentations awesome. How your presentations can be a wow presentation. And like I said, that presentation is what we do every day of our life. Presentation is the vibes that we send out, whether we're conscious of it or not. Life is a continuum of presentation. You keep making presentations, whether you're aware or not, you're making presentations. So tonight, on this topic, I'm actually going to be having a two-part for this talk tonight. The first part, for how to become a rock star presenter, I will be looking at the things that you need to get in place before your presentation. And I hope you know that preparation precedes any super performance. Therefore, if you're going to be performing at your peak, then you need seriously to be prepared. And there's some things you do behind the scene that prepares you for a rock star performance. There are things you need to get in place that helps you prepare for a rock star performance. So tonight, depending on the kind of presentations, some people have sales presentation, business presentations. There are different kinds of presentations that we have. And so depending on the setting of your presentation, some things will change. Some dynamics will move places. Oh, thank you so much, Ayola Ponle. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining the call tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining the call. Now, as I was saying, you need to be able to understand the dynamics for your presentation, depending on the dynamics. Now, when I mean dynamics, first, I want to talk about how to choose a topic for your presentation. Now, first, in choosing a topic for your presentation, that means it is not a business presentation. Probably you were called to deliver a keynote, for instance, speech, and you are not given any topic, as it were. How do you pick your topic? And then for people who are giving a business presentation, okay, sometimes you do not have the luxury of choosing your topic, right? So you have to, make a presentation on certain things. But most of the times, for business presentations, it's going to be a topic that has to do with your business, with something that you've been doing. You're probably a sales executive, you're a sales manager, and you're supposed to come and give a presentation of how to probably, to enter into a new market. You want to penetrate. Then you need to, then that's something that is a topic that is within your area of expertise. Okay. Now, that is something that is important for you to know how to choose. Then you ask yourself, how do I choose my topic? What should I say? First and foremost, I want to say to you with all sense of responsibility, when you have the luxury of choosing your topic, don't speak on what you are not comfortable on. Don't speak on a topic you have not researched. Don't speak on a topic that you do not have your data in place. You do not have all the things that you need to give that presentation. So choose your topic wisely. If you have such luxury of choosing your topic, choose your topic wisely. Choose your topic to accentuate your strength. You don't want to expose yourself, okay? You don't want to ridicule yourself. You want to choose a topic that is in line with your area of strength, your area of expertise. You want to choose a topic that helps bring out the best of you. That's important for you to do. A topic you have researched, a topic that you know, a topic you are comfortable with. And there's something about having the opportunity to choose your topic, a topic you're passionate about. Most times I tell people, don't speak about what you're not passionate about, because passion is contagious. People can see it. People know it. They can feel it. If you're genuine, they can know. People can relate with authenticity. Don't try to be like someone else when when you want to make your presentation. Don't try to speak like someone else. Be yourself. Be original. People are looking for the original version of you. Don't try to be the copy of some other person. Just the way you are good. So in choosing your topic for a presentation, one, I said, choose a topic that you have researched, a topic that you know so well. That is a topic that when you're woken up from sleep and you are asked to speak, you can immediately start to speak. You can, even without a note in your hand, you can just start to speak. So this is very important for you to know in choosing your topic. Choose your topic, a topic that you are comfortable with, a topic that you have researched, a topic that you are passionate about. When you have the luxury to choose your topic, please, I want to re-emphasize this. 3 things I've just talked about. A topic that you have researched. It's important that your knowledge is up to date about the topic. A topic that you are passionate about. That's something that is very important. A topic that you're not only passionate about it, you are comfortable with the topic. So that whatever happened, you like yourself. You can feel it. You enjoy what you're saying. You like, the topic. So this is something that is important for you to know while you are making or preparing for your presentation. The second thing I want to talk about tonight is how to profile your audience. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't do. You are not making a presentation to impress, please. You're making a presentation to communicate. You're trying to communicate a message. You're trying to send a message out to people. Okay, it's either it's for an information, it's either you want to persuade the people for something, or you want to entertain them. But the caveat here is that every presentation has a purpose, and your audience is the reason for your presentation. You are not making a presentation to yourself. You're not making a presentation to feel good about yourself. Even though feeling good about yourself, there's no big deal about that. There's no problem about feeling good. But listen, your audience is your market. I can't forget the word of Peter F. Drucker. Peter F. Drucker said something amazing. He said that quality is not what the manufacturer puts into his product. It's what the customer gets out of it. So it means that as the manufacturer, you as the presenter, you are not the one to say, oh, I had a wow presentation. No, that's not your call. It is your audience that will say, wow, that presentation was wow. Therefore, you need to understand that your audience is key. So how do you profile your audience before your presentation? You need to profile your audience before your presentation. Why? So you can adapt your presentation to your audience. Because you need to be able to adapt your presentation to your audience. Your audience needs to know, they need to feel what you're talking about. Your topic needs to resonate with your audience. Your topic needs to make sense to your audience. Because if it is not relative to them, listen to me, it's not going to be relevant to them. So you have to relate your topic to your audience before you can elicit engagement from your audience. Before your audience can engage with you, before your audience can say, wow, this is the bomb. This presentation is just it. I love what I'm listening to. I love this guy. He's done a marvelous job. Okay, so you need to profile your audience, okay? Profile your audience. How do you profile your audience? How do I mean when I say profile your audience? You need to ask some kind of questions, okay? So you need to ask a few questions. The first question you're going to be asking, who are the people that will be in my audience? That means I'm talking about the demography of the people in your audience. What's their age bracket? What are the things that they like? What are the things that appeal to them? Because when you know the things that appeal to them, you're going to bring your presentation in such a way that will engender engagement from them. Okay, people can respond to you. Why? Because you are relative to them. Because you're hitting them where it matters. So you need to know the demography of your audience. Who will be in my audience? That's the first thing. Where are they going to be coming from? Okay? What part? What is their cultural orientation? What do they know? What is good for them might not be good for some other people who are coming from some other place. Okay, so that means you need to know where they're coming from. Now that is geographically. You now also need to know where they're coming from in terms of their experience. You need to know where they're coming from, where they've been, what they've gone through, what they, what event, what has happened to them before. You need to know where they're coming from. Now, because it's important for you to be able to empathize with your audience. If you want to prepare a presentation that will elicit engagement, okay, from your audience, you want to find out their journey. You want to find out their story. You want to find out what they've been, what's happening to them, where they've been, what's happening to them, what's not happening to them. Where have they been? Where have they not been? These are important questions you need to ask and find an answer to before the presentation. Okay? Now, this is very important for you to find out. And then, if I'm looking at it on the flip side of it, looking at a business presentation, you need to ask, who am I making these presentations for? Who are the people that will be in the audience? Am I going to have top management in the audience? Am I having board members in the audience? Is it senior management? Is it middle level managers? Because you know why? When you know the people that are going to be in your audience, you can tailor your presentation to what's most important to them. Your presentation can be tailored to what's most important to them. For instance, you're making a business presentation and you have board members and you have top executives in the meeting. There is something you need to know about top executives. They are always, short of time. They don't have time. So there are people that appreciate you going to the point. So when you're making a presentation to executive members and board members, you don't have the luxury of telling them a lot of stories that have nothing to do with them, as it were. Just give them the figures. Talk to them. Excite them with the figures. Excite them with the prospect, of investing in this, in this new business. Because if you invest in this new business, this is the figure that you're expecting to get out, say, in another 8 to 12 months. Now, that excites board members and senior management. They just want to see the bottom line. For them, it's the bottom line. So you find out that, oh, these guys they're busy people, they're great people, but then they really don't have all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, PJ. I can see you're on. Thank you so much, my sister. I can see you're on. Yemi Oniroko Laju. Thanks for joining the call this night. I appreciate it. Thank you. So you need to know the people who are in the audience. What do they know? What is relevant to them? That way, when you're preparing your presentation, whatever aid you're using, maybe it's your PowerPoint slide, whatever you're using, you would need to tailor it to their needs. You need to find out what is, very important to them. Your audience is actually the reason for your presentation. Because without an audience, really, what are you doing? You're not making any presentation, okay? So you know who they are. And in terms of business, you need to know who they are in terms of their job title, their status. I've been in presentation training classes with some managers, particularly one of the managers in one of my recent classes was saying that the challenge that he has is making presentation to top managers, top executives in his organization, because he works for a multinational. But they are you senior manager for your here, and you having the executive vice president for your audience. You are having executive vice president for Middle East and North Africa. You are having executive vice president for Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey. The MENA region, the EMEA, and you are having all of these people in the room. And he said, look, I almost lost it. In short, at a point, I lost it. Because again, if you profile your audience ahead of your presentation, it helps you find a bit of comfort. You are able to stay comfortable and say, okay, now I get it together. You create a mental image in your mind of who will be there. if you really want to help yourself to be more comfortable, you know what I do sometimes? I go check them up. That's part of profiling. You're researching your audience. I check them up. If they have a page on LinkedIn, first I want to see their picture. Okay, I look at the picture and I'm like, okay, he doesn't really look scary. He looks okay. I can be comfortable having this kind of person in my room. I don't have a problem having him in my room. I don't have a problem having this kind of person in my room. So you look at their profile. You see where they've been. And listen, you don't have to be intimidated. When you are prepared yourself, profile them, know who they are, know what's important to them, know what's not important to them. In profiling your audience also, what it does to you or for you is that what it does for you is it helps you structure your presentation. It helps you put your presentation in perspective. It helps you know the amount of content that should be in your presentation. Because a lot of time, people, say, oh, I have content. And then you just pack your presentations with a lot of irrelevant issues to your audience. And let me also tell you, why it's important for you to profile your audience is because you don't have all the time. While you're busy saying things that are not relevant to your audience, they are disconnected. You lose your audience. You don't want to lose your audience, because when you lose your audience, I mean, I've seen this happen a lot of time, at meetings. I've seen this happen to people. You are handling a presentation. I remember one time I was delivering a leadership class to some manager of an international oil company, and I was to come on as the second trainer just after the tea break. But guess what? While I was in the lounge waiting, I just found out that the managers for that international oil company, I found out that they were just coming out. They were coming out of the room and they were picking calls that they were not urgent calls. They were not business calls. They were not calls that have to do with the business, okay? They just, some of them just come out and fiddle with the phone. And guess what? They were disengaged audience. The trainer in the room could not keep them engaged. They were disengaged. So they left the room. They kept strolling out one after the other, using the restroom. You know, when you're in a training room and some people are just going out and using the restroom that they actually don't need to use, you know that you have lost your audience. You know that they're disengaged. And you don't want to do that. One thing that can make your audience disengaged is when you pack your presentation full of content that is not relevant to them, they will be disengaged. They'll lose interest. They'll be disinterested. Even if some of them don't leave the room, you know what? They'll be fiddling with their phone. They'll just, because they feel, oh, look, I think I have better things to do than staying on with this presentation. I don't know what this presentation is about. I can't stay here on this call with this person. In this presentation with this person. Now, this is what happens when you do not tailor your presentation to the need of your audience, or when you pack your content full of irrelevant stories to your audience. You will lose your audience. That's why profiling your audience is a key presentation success strategy. Profile them, know who is coming, know what's important to them, know that, the information that is important to them. And then also, the final thing I'll say about profiling your audience is to also find what level of knowledge do they have about my topic. Some people can have a rookie experience, a rookie knowledge in your topic. That means what they have about it is just a basic knowledge of your presentation, okay? Some people have their knowledge of your presentation at intermediate level, and some of them, they have the knowledge of your presentation at an expert level. And so when they have it at expert level, you just want to hit the ball on the head. You don't want to go around. They're not excited about those things that will excite, a newbie, or something that will excite someone who is at, an intermediate level of knowledge, okay, for your presentation. So these are the things that help you to profile your audience. Okay, thank you so much, everyone that is on the call. Like I said, I'll be so grateful if you can keep sharing the link to the call. This is the first in the series, and I'm looking forward to more coming up. This time every week, I hope to come to you. Now, when you have profiled your audience, the next thing you want to do is to prepare your topic. Is to prepare your topic. Is to prepare your topic. And one mistake that I see most people do, which you should never do, never start preparing your presentation on PowerPoint. When you do that, you lost it. PowerPoint is not where you start to prepare. Because I've seen people say, oh, now I have a presentation, I'm delivering a presentation tomorrow. And then you flip open your laptop or your tablet and you get into, PowerPoint and you want to start. Let me tell you what that does to you. It overwhelms you. You feel like, wow, where do I start from? You are confused. So the first thing you need to do is to actually put your thoughts on paper. This is very important. Put your thoughts on paper. Now, there's something that I do before I make any presentation, which is for me to engage the tool that I call mind dumping. Okay? Now, what I do with that is, in my office, there's a board there, and on the board I have a big, piece of paper, and I pin it to the board. In the center of that paper, you know what I do? I write the topic of what I'm presenting in the middle. So I now start brain dumping. What do I mean by brain dumping? Everything that I know about that topic, without processing the thought, I just write it on the paper. I write everything I know about the topic, everything I know. Sometimes I'm engaged, in this activity maybe for as little as 15 minutes, sometimes as much as 1 hour or more. I engage in this activity. I just put the paper on the board in my office and I'm just dumping the ideas. I'm not processing. It's not about processing. I'm not processing the idea. I'm just dumping the idea. I just write the things that I know as they come to mind. Sometimes I walk away, go doing something else, and something flip up in my mind. Guess what? I quickly rush back there and write it down. Sometimes if I'm far away from it, I just take a Post-it and I write it on it, so that when I get back to the office, I put it on the board. That way, I am able to harness every resource that I have, every knowledge that I have about the topic. I put everything together. The next thing that I do on that is that I want to begin to sort the topics out. How do I mean? I'm sorting the topics, putting them in themes or topics that are similar. Similar topics, I put them together. Sometimes you find out that when you're doing that, my experience shows that sometimes I've repeated the same thing, twice, but I've said it in 2 different ways, So what I do at that time is to merge together topics that are similar to themselves. I merge them together. I put them together, and guess what happens? Right before me, I am seeing an outline emerging. That's how an outline emerges. An outline emerges, and I'm like, wow, okay, now this looks clearer than what it used to be. It looks okay than what it used to be. So what do? I now, from that particular activity, I create the outline for my presentation. My outline is there. But guess what I do? Because after you create your outline, you need to structure the outline in the form of a story. Because every presentation is actually a story. Every movie is a story. Everything that anyone is saying is a story. And every story has 3 components. Every story has introduction, it has the body, and it has the conclusion. So your story must make sense. Your presentation must make sense. Your presentation must be such that it makes sense in the region of an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. This is very important for me. It's very important for us to know that the structuring has to be. The next thing that you do after that is to use another tool that I call storyboarding. You now storyboard your outline. Now, storyboard is what people in the movie industry use. They used to structure the story of the movie, okay? That's what they use in putting all their stories into which one should be act 1, scene 1, act 2, scene 2, just that way. That same way, you storyboard your presentation so that your presentation can have a flow. It can have a flow. There's a story that your presentation is telling. Your presentation can have a story. So you storyboard your presentation. Okay? So this is very important. What this does for you is structure in your presentation so that you do not put an item you should start your presentation with, you put it the last. Now, that's not going to make sense. That's going to leave you even confused. That's going to make you look like, wow, you don't even know what you're doing. And you don't want to come across, as not knowing what you're doing, because you know what you're doing. It's probably that you just don't know how to use the tools, how to structure, how to make your presentation come across like a story anyone we want to enjoy. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to, look at. It's very important for you to be able to structure your presentation. Structure your presentation. Use storyboard. Storyboarding, it helps you take your outline, you put it on the storyboard. Is another chart that you create. You create that chart and say, okay, this will be my introduction. From this introduction, I think I should be picking the item that is on my outline. Maybe the item on your outline is probably item 3 or 4 on your outline, because your outline is actually probably not arranged in the way your story will flow. So you pick item 3 in your outline. It should probably be the second or the first when you start to storyboard. So storyboarding helps you to see how your presentation will turn out. Let me tell you something about storyboarding. If you succeed with storyboarding, one thing that would happen before your presentation, you're going to start feeling good. You're going to know and feel that this presentation is going to come out really well. This presentation is going to come out really well, and you'll be so excited about that. And so that's important for us to know, that your storyboard is a tool that you need for your presentation. That way your presentation comes out as being powerful. Now, the next thing that I want to look at, in the topic. Thank you so much, Begabe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate it. Now, I want to talk about the use of PowerPoint. I have seen a lot of people misuse PowerPoint. Okay, I've seen a lot of people not use PowerPoint the way PowerPoint should be used. Okay, recently, sometime in July this year, I put together a free presentation skills masterclass. And one of the things that I said to people who attended the event was that a lot of people use PowerPoint as a crutch. PowerPoint is not a crutch. Stop leaning on PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a tool. PowerPoint is not your presentation. I need you to know that PowerPoint is not your presentation. PowerPoint is a tool for your presentation. PowerPoint is a tool for your presentation. It's not your presentation. And how do I mean? I've seen people make PowerPoint presentation, and it just looks like, I don't understand what it looks like, really. You write everything you want to say on your PowerPoint. That is an abuse of PowerPoint. Did you hear what it's called? It is called PowerPoint. That means it is the point in your presentation that you want to put power to. That is what PowerPoint is. PowerPoint is that tool in your presentation that you want to put emphasis on. So I've seen trainers do this a lot. I've seen trainers, use PowerPoint in such a way that I'm wondering, if you have so much to say, please, 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 people, listen to me. If you have so much to say, put it on a handout. Don't write the story on a handout. I mean, on your PowerPoint. You know why? Listen. When you write so much stories on a PowerPoint, one, you are not only abusing PowerPoint, that is an abnormal use of PowerPoint. Okay? The second thing it does is that people can read faster than you can talk. So while you are talking to them, they are done reading everything you are saying. And guess what? While they are reading what you have written on your PowerPoint, they are definitely not listening to you. I can guarantee you that. They're definitely not listening to you. They're not listening to you because they're busy reading. You, by yourself, you gave them the reason to be disengaged. If you have so much to say, put it on a handout, okay? And promise them, assure them, particularly if it's a training presentation, give them the assurance that you have the handout for this course for them, and it will be distributed at the end of your class. That way you can keep them engaged. That way you can keep them engaged, okay? That's very important because PowerPoint is a wonderful tool if you know how to use it. So what do I propose? What do I do when I use PowerPoint? I make sure that on my PowerPoint, I only have one idea on my PowerPoint. I don't module too many things on a PowerPoint. No, it is one idea per slide. When I put one idea per slide, I put a picture, an image that helps tell the story of my idea. And guess what? I also found out that a lot of people also use too many bullets on their PowerPoint. Too many bullets on their PowerPoint. And guess what I said to some people in my training room? I said, you know, guns don't kill, it's bullets that kill. A lot of time you kill the people in your audience with too much bullets. It is bullets that kill, it is not guns that kill. Bullets kill, okay? Because when you have an empty gun that is not loaded, a revolver, it doesn't have, you know, any bullet inside of it. If you fire it, nothing is going to come out. So it is actually not the gun that kill people, it's the bullet. So what am I trying to say? Reduce the number of bullet points that you have on your PowerPoint. The maximum that I suggest that you can use, maximum, is 3 bullet points per slide. 3, and that's a lot. If you can keep it simpler than that, you're better, you're good for it, okay? And for instance, as a trainer, instead of putting all your PowerPoint, all your information on the slide, why not put the extra information that you have on the add notes, space on the PowerPoint? There is a space just below, and that space says click to add your notes. So add your notes there in case you need your notes as a guardian. And so when you are trying to project, you project a split screen to your audience. That means you have 2 screens that you can see from your laptop. Your audience is only seeing the projection that you're projecting, okay? They're only seeing what you're projecting through the PowerPoint slideshow. But you are having 2 views. A view that allows you to see your notes if you want to have your notes as something to refresh your memory of the things you're trying to talk about. It's very important that we understand how to use PowerPoint. Reduce the bullet points on your PowerPoint. Reduce the bullet points. Put an appropriate image. And please, when you're also getting your image, do not put an image that has a watermark at the background. What do I mean? Don't put an image in your PowerPoint that has, for instance, Peak Story is watermarked, okay? Stock photos is watermarked. So we see the picture, but we see a name that is faintly put on the background. Now, what that means is that you have not bought that image. That's why the owner of the image has put a copyright impression, his signature, his own logo on the image. And it is not a good image for you to use for business. It's important that you know this. So you either buy the image, if that's what you want to use, you pay for it. Okay, a lot of times they're not too expensive. Some of them are in the region of maybe $5 to $7, $8, $9. You can buy the image, or at the most you can go and look for free images. Okay, there's some images that allow you to use, I mean, some sites, some owners that allow you to use their images without a watermark. But the caveat is that you should give them the credit for it. So at the bottom of the image, you need to put, you know, picture credit, photo credit. You credit the source. That way you are not accused, or you are not at fault. You are not infringing on a copyright of another person. You need to acknowledge the source. You need to respect the source. Oh, this image I'm using, this is where I got the image from. Now, it's important that you get, you know, your PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a wonderful tool. You can create a lot of, you know, powerful presentation for your sales presentation. You can even embed a video in your PowerPoint. It comes natural as if it's the PowerPoint. These are some of the things that, you know, you need to do to be able to have a successful presentation tonight. I want to, at this time, I don't know if there are questions. I want to just take 1-2 minutes break to also refresh. I feel really thirsty, so I want to drink water. I want to say that if you have questions, please can you put the questions in the comment box? I'll see them. I'll respond to the questions. Okay, because I'm going to come back and talk about 2-3 other things that you need to do to prepare before your presentation. Before your presentation. So I'm just going to drink water with your permission. Thank you. So thank you, guys. Now what I want to talk about, this is going to be the second part, I mean the concluding part of tonight's video live event. What I want to talk about in preparation also for your presentation is how to handle being nervous. I don't know, but it's my experience. After making presentations, okay, in the last probably 15 years professionally, there is no time, there is no single time that I'm going to go up to make a presentation that I still don't feel some butterfly moving around my stomach area. I still feel nervous. I still feel, you know, a little bit, you know, fidgety. Okay, but now that's not to say that I'm not going to be making my presentation. Okay, but I've also realized that nervousness is good if you know and you have learned how to master your nerves. You need that nervousness. You know why? That is the energy creator for your presentation. That's what should prepare you. You need that kind of, you know, nerves bubbling in your belly area. You need that that nerves to be there. You need to feel nervous. That's a sign of energy. But then a lot of people have sabotaged themselves when they don't know how to convert their nerves into a positive energy. You allow the nervousness to take control of your presentation, and it drifts you into the negative angle of it. So you need, okay, great. I'm seeing a question here coming from Benga Abe, my brother, is asking, how does one stay on point and on time during presentation? Thank you so much for that wonderful question. Now, how do you stay on point? The first thing that helps you to stay on point is to have a structured outline. When you have you know why you need a structured outline? You find out that about a particular topic, there's so many things you know. At the point where you're presenting, those things you know will start to, they start to hit your head. All of them are craving your attention. They want to find out, they want to be expressed. They are looking for expression. So what helps you to put a guard on every information that you have about that topic is a structured outline. That your outline puts you in check. Your outline creates a boundary for you. And so you know that I'm not going to get out of this boundary. This is my boundary. This is all I'm talking about. And that's why I also talked about profiling your audience. When you have profiled your audience, you know the amount of information that is relevant to them. Those are the things you will put in your structured outline. Okay, so every other thing you know about that particular topic, you're going to put it aside. For that presentation, every other thing outside of your outline is not important. So that way, you're going to stay on point. The next thing, to stay on time. Let me give you my experience. A few years ago, I had an invitation from a very senior minister, and he's invited me to come and speak to the fellowship of ministers that he oversees, ministers from different churches and ministries, and he wanted me to speak to them at their annual convention. And they said to me that we're giving you 20 minutes to speak. And I said, oh, awesome. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Guess what? When I got there, when it was time for me to speak, the bishop himself walked up to me and said, look, we're sorry we don't have 20 minutes again to give you. Can you still speak to us in 5 minutes? Oh, I said, thank you so very much. Now, guess what I have done? For all of my presentations, I have different versions of them that has to do with timing. So for a 1 hour presentation that I have a 30 minutes version of that presentation without losing the substance of the presentation. Guess what? I have a 5 minute, that's my baseline. I have a 5 minute presentation of that same 1 hour presentation. Okay, because one key sign of a good presenter, of a rock star presenter, is your ability to manage time. It's your ability to work within time. And for instance, when I'm given an hour to deliver a speech, to speak somewhere, I will use 45 minutes. That's my own business. I time myself. I'm going to deliver in 45 minutes, and I'm going to leave the rest 15 minutes if there are Q&A, if people have questions, so that I can use that time for questions and answer. And if they don't have, I have saved them 15 minutes from the time that is allotted to me. So what am I saying? How do you stay on time? One, structured outline helps you to keep to time. Okay? Your structured outline helps you to keep to time, because you know while you are outlining, you are going to be apportioning time to every topic that is on your presentation that you want. So you put time into it and say, okay, this time is what I'm going to spend on this on this topic. I won't spend more than 3 minutes on this topic. That way, you find out that you would be able to manage your time properly, because it's important. That's the reason they're going to invite you again if you keep to time. They like you. You are punchy. Your message is, it resonates with them. You're punchy. You hit it, and they like it. And on top of everything, you save them time. They gave you 1 hour, and you're giving them back, the platform or the podium 10 minutes before the expiration of the time that they gave you. Okay, so that's one way to handle it. Then I'm seeing another question coming from Ayotunde Osi. He said the question, may I know you, how does one put lots of points together to sell oneself within 3 to 5 minutes? Okay, how do you put your points together to sell yourself? Now let me give you a case study for that. I've been at interview panels, and people come in interviewees coming, and the question that is pushed to them is, can we meet you? And guess what? Most people who attend interviews, the next thing they're going to say, my name is so. I went to so school. I have a 2-1. You have just missed your opportunity. You know why? We don't need your name anymore. The people that are on the panel of your interview, they are not dumb. They are not stupid. I hope you understand. You have sent in your resume long before. They have seen your CV. They know your name. They know where you finished from. When they are asking you, can we meet you? They expect you to sell yourself to them in 3 to 5 minutes with things that are not on your resume. Because you know what? Your resume or your CV, whichever one you call it, your resume or your CV is such a limited place for you to put everything you have achieved in your life. So everything you have achieved cannot go in your CV. So when you are saying, when you're given the opportunity, can we meet you? You should be talking to them about the things that are not in your CV. So how do you now sell yourself? When you want to sell yourself, you want to roll out your key achievements. Maybe, for instance, you're a sales manager and you want to sell yourself. You should be selling yourself based on the figures that you are doing monthly. You want to sell yourself based on your pool of network, because your network is actually your net worth. Okay, as a sales manager, you want to bring out, how strong your network is, because people who want to hire you, now they're thinking, wow, so he has this huge network. Already in their mind, they're already thinking the kind of business that you're going to be bringing for them. And then you're giving them the figure of what you made the last month. If you're the one that delivers a weekly production, sales production, you want to give them your record. You want to give them your record that you're making, okay? So it's very important for you to be able to know. That's how you sell yourself. Sell yourself with those things that are relevant to what you are prospecting for. And I'm telling you, you can sell yourself in 3-5 minutes. And in short, it's too long a time. That's why sometimes we do, I do some trainings on your elevator pitch. How you can pitch, if, for instance, you are with Africa's richest man in an elevator, how are you going to sell yourself? And guess what? Africa's richest man in an elevator does not have 3 minutes. Okay? It doesn't have 3 minutes. 3 minutes is too much. It doesn't have 3 minutes. So probably it has 60 seconds, 1 minute. And that's a good time. That's too much a time to even sell yourself. Okay? It's very important for you to be able to sell yourself. Thank you so much, Ayotunde Osi, for the questions. And Ben Gabi, thank you for the questions. So if you see other questions, you can bring it, or you can bring them on. But I was talking about how you can handle your nervousness for presentation. Now, there are things you can do to handle your nervousness before your presentation. The first thing you want to do to help you stay calm is that you really want to have researched and feel confident about your knowledge of the particular topic. Because I've seen one thing that keeps us a little nervous is when you feel that you have insufficient knowledge about the topic. You're going to feel agitated. When you feel like, oh, I don't know enough. Oh, I wish I know more than I know right now about this thing. That alone is going to put you under pressure. That's one. The second thing you want to do that can help you about, on your presentation to handle nervousness is for you to take the camera off yourself. Take the focus off yourself. You are not making a presentation for yourself. See, a lot of time, some presenters who feel nervous and, I've seen people practically jittery. They're practically shaking. They're afraid. Their legs are wobbling. They're almost going to miss their steps. Now, why does that happen? It's because you are overly conscious of yourself. You are too conscious of yourself, and that is a great disservice to your audience because they are not gathered there just to look at who you are. They are gathered to hear something that is going to help them. They need help. That's why they came to you. So why are you focusing on yourself so much? Because when the focus on yourself is so much, you're going to feel nervous. So take care of your research, your knowledge of the topic. Let it be sound. Okay? Pay less attention of yourself. That's a little bit too selfish to think that people are gathered just because of you. Or you think they want to check out your good clothes, your good dress, or your new shoes. No, people have more pressing issues in their life, and they're desperately seeking for an answer for those issues of their life. Okay? So you don't want to do any disservice to them. And one other thing that can help you take care of being nervous is if you can find your way to the venue of your presentation before the presentation. That means you can go in the room before your presentation. You understand? That means you can go in the room. You can go to the place where you're making presentation. Walk around the stage. Feel that the stage is your own. Take ownership of the stage. Walk around the stage. See how the stage is. Feel, in short, do. Because I told you when I was starting that presentation is both an art, A-R-T, and an act, A-C-T. Okay, so there's some bit of acting in your presentation. Room, you know what does to you. It brings down. You feel that after all, this is where I am going to be making a presentation. And there's no big deal about this place. This place is cool, you know. I think I like this place. I think this place is cool for me, you know. And then and you want to feel confident. So you can do this before your presentation. Those are the 3 things that I recommend that you do before your presentation that helps you take care of being nervous on the stage while you're making presentation. Again, let me recap quickly. You need to research your topic, know your topic very well. When you are knowledgeable about something, your confidence level, you know, leapfrogs. You feel good about it. 2, pay less attention to yourself. That means be less conscious of yourself. Don't put the spotlight on yourself. When you do, you feel agitated. You think everybody is looking at you. When you're walking, you think they're looking at your shoe that is not coming out well, or your steps that you're missing. Listen to me. Members of your audience, it's not about you. They have issues. That's why they're there. Then the 3rd one is for you to find a way to get into the room, the hall, wherever you are having your presentation. Maybe it's the boardroom, maybe it's your, you know, your office conference room, maybe it's an open event, a big hall somewhere. Make sure you find your way to the place before the event. Sometimes you may not have access to the place until the day of the event, but guess what? Get there before anyone else. Before your audience start arriving, get there. Have a feel of the place. You know, move around. Be comfortable with the place. And then you find out that, wow, this is amazing. You can enjoy yourself. The last thing that I want to talk about this night on how to become a rockstar presenter before your presentation. That's what we're dealing with. Next Sunday, I will be talking about what you do while you are on stage. You don't want to miss that. It's the same link. You can just, you know, put my my profile on the notice to remind you when I'm going to go live. Okay, next Sunday it's going to be the same time, 8 p.m. West African time. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about this night before we end this particular live event is how to handle questions and objections. Because questions will come, objections will come. Now, I want to share with you some of the things you can do to handle questions and objections before your presentation. These are things you should know before your presentation. Now, how do you handle questions and objections before your presentation? First and foremost, let me let you know. When questions and comments come to you, I have seen people who are defensive. I've seen presenters who, when you ask them a question or when you object to their line of thought, you know what they're thinking? They're thinking, oh, this guy doesn't like me. Why is he trying to attack me? Why is he trying to destroy my reputation? And you just go on the defensive. Let me tell you, when questions and objections are posed at you, and guess what? You go on the defensive, you make yourself vulnerable. You are going to start feeling agitated. Being on the defense make you feel agitated. Being on the defense make you feel like, okay, so what is it? What happens? You are not able to think rationally. You're not going to be able to answer them an objection. Objection are very powerful, are very powerful tool for engagement. If someone in my audience is asking a question, you know what it means, or what it just implies for me. It means interested. It means they are following. He or she thinks, oh, they've taken something good, but I need to reinforce what I've learned from this guy. Is it really what he's saying that I am learning? Okay, that's one thing. And then objection. Objection is also a powerful tool of engagement. Somebody's objecting and say, no, I have a different opinion to what you have said, Mr. Nikosi. You know, I don't think I agree with that line of thought. Guess what I always say to them? With a huge smile on my face. I'm saying, wow, that's really interesting. I'm glad that you are engaged, you are following me. Okay, please, can we take your opinion? What do you think? So that's what I do. I just give him the floor. I give him the floor and I say, wow, thank you. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of my friends are coming on. Adio Yademola, thank you so much for being on the coming on the live event tonight. And I'm seeing my old friend Chooks Afumozo, all the way from the UK. That's Chooks was my classmate while we were in secondary school. He's a great friend of mine. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Now, what I'm saying is, when someone is raising an objection, I give them the floor. I allow them. Because you know what? Sometimes some people just want to feel, they want to have a sense of belonging. They have an idea. They think the idea is different from what you're saying. Please give them the room to speak. You know why? You are going to help create a robust learning environment when you have diverse views and opinions coming in the room. And you know what? As soon as someone in my room says, Mr. Nikosi, I don't think I agree with you, and I give them the floor, guess what I do? I immediately change my heart, because before then, the heart that I have on my head is the heart of a trainer. Guess what I do? I immediately remove the heart of the trainer and I put on my heart of a facilitator. Okay, so I begin to facilitate the learning. Guess what happens most times? When that person says, I have something different, and he speaks, most times my experience in the room is that someone else in the room is going to say, no, I don't agree with you. And there's going to be a huge energy in the room. And for me as a facilitator, that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to create energy in the room. I want people, to be excited about what I'm talking about. So guess what I do? I now begin to facilitate. When this person says, oh, no, I don't agree. You know what I do? I facilitate so that it doesn't lead to an argument. I say, okay, gentlemen, ladies, you know what? We're going to take every opinion in the room, but it's going to be one person at a time. That means when one person is talking, you're going to listen to them. If you want to take note, you can take note of something that they're saying that you probably do not agree with. But please don't interrupt while the person is speaking, because it's disrespectful when people or when someone is talking and someone else is interrupting them or yelling at them. It's making them feel less of a human being. They have a right to speak, okay? and they have a right to be in the room. That's another interesting part of it. Okay, so I put on the cap of a facilitator, and I facilitate the whole learning process. I'm able to say, okay, this is how we do, this is how we do. But guess what happens? At the end, I remove the facilitator's cap again. I put on my trainer's cap. I now summarize what everyone in the room is saying. Because you need energy in the room. You need a lot of energy in the room. That's what brings life. That's what brings engagement. That's why you know that your presentation is gone well. Because engagement is the life wire of any presentation. Any presentation you are having, if there are no engagement, then you don't have a presentation. Engagement are the life wire. Questions, objections, they're powerful tools of engagement. And see, because as a trainer, when someone says I object to you, don't feel defensive. You don't know everything about everything. You probably don't even know everything about the topic that you're talking about. So you know what? Give the person the room. And guess what it does? It doesn't take anything away from you. My 15, 17 years experience lets me know that it actually adds a lot to you. The people in your audience, they will respect you. Because at the end, you've given everyone a room to feel, that they belong, that they're part of the process. Because again, for a trainer, don't forget, what you're doing is training. You are the one training. You are the one teaching. It is your audience that is learning. Learning is not for you. Training and teaching is your own. It's your audience that is learning. If they can't learn, your training has become a waste. If they can't have key takeaways from your presentation, then I'm sorry, you've just bungled it. You've just wasted your time, and you wasted every other person's time in the room. Okay, so you want to engage the people. You want them to raise objections, ask questions, and you want to throw light to what is happening. This is what makes your presentation fully engaged. And this is what makes you a rock star presenter. When the engagement is high, when the energy in the room is supercharged, you are on a great time. Wow. Thank you, my friends. I really am going to take a break here. I really going to take a break here. But guess what? I'm still going to be welcoming your questions even when I go offline. I would be very much interested in helping you with your presentation issues. We make presentation. Tomorrow is Monday. Some people are going to be making presentation. Some of the people that have come in and watched tonight, some of them are pastors. They're going to be making presentation, and I'm looking forward to working even with pastors more, particularly in the area of managing time for their presentation, so that they make their presentation within a particular allotted time. That way, you find out that people don't want to miss your events. People want to come. But when you keep your event so stretched, people are tired. When next you invite them, what comes back to their mind is the last time they came. You just took so much time, 4 hours, we were still there, 5 hours, and I couldn't pick anything from what you're saying. You don't want that to be your own experience, okay? You don't want that to be what people will say. Oh, my friend is just joining now. Divine Adiola is just joined the call. Thank you so much, Divine. I'm so appreciative, of your coming on with me tonight. Thank you so much. I'm sure you enjoyed your time at the conference. You're so much welcome. Okay. If you have questions for me at the end, you can just put them in the comment box, or you can send them to me as an inbox message, and you can bet I will respond to you. Now that's the promise. I will respond to you. I will respond to you. I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed, because whether you know it or not, you're making presentation. Whether you're talking or not, we're making presentation. So next week, Sunday, I want you to join me. I'm going to be here again next week, Sunday, the same time, 8 p.m. I want you to put a reminder on your Facebook Live notification to join me next week, Sunday. Next week, Sunday, I'm going to be talking on the second part of how to be a rock star presenter. Okay, how you're going to be a rock star presenter. I would say you're going to need to join me next Sunday. I will take this part 2 of tonight. What you do when you're on stage, how to own the stage, how to take the stage, how to engage your audience, how to release, this, okay? So, okay, someone is asking, can this presentation be represented in CD? Okay, what I plan to do with this is going to be on for a few hours, But I'm going to also put up my my YouTube channel link. You can go to the YouTube. There you can watch, or you can download it. Okay, so I will upload it on my YouTube channel, and then you see it there, and you can download or watch from the place. And please, when you do visit my my channel, is pretty new. Please subscribe to it so that you can get more of those videos when I upload them. It just notify you that those videos are up for you to watch or download. Okay, so next Sunday I'm going to be looking at how you can take the stage, how you can use the floor. Next week Sunday I'll be talking about the impact that your body language has on your presentation. I'll be also looking at what the importance of your vocal strength on your presentation, how your voice can either make or mar your presentation, how you can be able to put inflection in your voice, how you can know the rhythm for your voice, how you can put the pitch in your voice, and all of that. So I really look forward to you guys joining me again next Sunday. Please put the reminder on your Facebook Live notification so that it can remind you. And guess what? My pastor also just joined. My pastor joined, Pastor Bolu Atishe. Thank you so very much, sir. I appreciate you just came in almost at the time that I'm rounding up. I actually started the show this night a little bit earlier than 8 o'clock because I was just trying to test run and I just saw people coming up, and so I couldn't just leave them without saying something. So I started about 20 minutes before 8 for tonight. But definitely next Sunday is going to be 8 p.m. on the dot. Now I've seen how this thing works. It's my first time. I've been able to get the technology right, so I know that next Sunday is going to be better. And these videos will be, will be recorded, will be uploaded for you on my YouTube page. You'll see it. And also some of them, I will also put them on my Mastering Presentations page on Facebook, and you'll find them there. My brother Muiwa is also just coming on. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you joining me tonight. I look forward to being with you again next week Sunday, 8 p.m. same time, same place, Facebook Live. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate. Good night, and I want to say have a very wonderful week ahead of you. Have a very blessed week ahead. God bless you. Thank you.